He was a phenomenal villain. So then when you have like a bootleg, I'm sorry, Elon Musk, and then his idiot.
I have to disagree.
Hi, I'm Wren.
I'm Angeline, and today we're joined by some very lovely guests.
My name's Irene, and I'm producer on the 27 podcast.
I'm Chris.
Hi, I'm Eva.
I'm Lauren. If you haven't been invited to solve murder mysteries on a millionaire island, then you would have heard of the hit new movie Glass Onion.
Glass Onion is a Knives Out mystery. It's a whodunit murder mystery directed by Rian Johnson. As the title implies, it's the sequel to 2019's Knives Out. And let's just jump into the movie.
I really enjoyed this movie. As someone who hasn't seen...
I can't see you, Ren. Anyway, go on. The lamp is covering you.
Just like duck on you.
We're gonna pretend. Okay. I really enjoyed this movie. I haven't seen Knives Out, so I was in for a surprise because I didn't know the format of the movie, but I would understand if someone was able to figure it out because they've seen Knives Out and they know how Rian Johnson likes to make his movies.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I thought it was a breath of fresh air in this whole reboot, Puss in Boots, Lyle. I don't even know what the okay, I'm grouping Lyle and Crocodile in because I hate Lyle the crocodile. But you know what I mean? It's just this rerun of every movie, Marvel movies. It's all just the same thing. I think this brings something new to the table, and honestly, I really enjoyed it.
Well, I don't think all Marvel movies are the same. However, I agree. I really like the movie. I also haven't seen the previous Knives Out one, but it was very Agatha Christie, that whole mystery thing, and I didn't see the twist or whatever happened. So I thought it was really interesting to follow along.
I just want to say I watched a YouTube, I think Wired interview or Vogue interview, where Rian Johnson broke down one of the scenes in the movie, and he says he took a lot of things from Agatha Christie, like you said. And I don't know if you guys could see it, because I couldn't when I first watched it. I had to go back and rewatch some scenes, but he literally put clues in there that made the plot so obvious.
I saw something about that on TikTok.
Really?
I was looking and I saw I've seen I don't know 5 different TikTok videos talking about the second Knives Out, Glass Onion, and one of them was talking this one wasn't a clue perhaps, but it was a picture. I don't remember who it was, but it was of Miles Braun holding the picture of the note and pointing at it. I don't remember her name. One of those billionaire frauds did, and it's a direct comparison, showing how much of a fraud he was. I was I love that. I love the little,
and he was on Ted Cruz's body or something. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was the painting, and he was holding the
and I also really liked the movie. I watched the first Knives Out. I also really enjoyed that. The thing I would say about this one though, I really liked the beginning. I was so locked in for the first hour and a half. I was locked in, and then when they started when they showed the end, I was a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I liked the plot twist, she was her sister. That was crazy.
Right. Yeah.
That was crazy. I love that. But, the fact that it was him, Miles Braun that killed Andy. I thought that was duh. But people think that's the point. I don't know if you guys
Right.
I also feel it's stupid because you have Walmart Elon Musk here on his side, and he just compared to. I didn't watch the movie, so I don't want to spoil it for you. Can I spoil it?
You can spoil.
I can spoil.
Knives Out.
Okay, first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris Evans. Chris Evans was a phenomenal villain in that movie. I love Chris Evans.
Yes, he was so good.
Oh my god, you guys! You have to watch
from the start.
You didn't
kind of. You didn't expect
it.
You
Was
gotta
such
watch
a
the movie to understand what's happening.
Okay.
But he was a phenomenal villain. So then when you have a bootleg, I'm sorry, Elon Musk, and then his idiot.
I have to disagree. He was such an idiot to the point where it was infuriating. I wanted to. But that was the point.
I just thought that it was a touch disappointing. That the biggest plot twist is he's just an idiot. You know what I mean?
I kind of like that though.
People like it, but I'm just saying the villain, the reason he did it is because he's stupid, and the whole point of him is he's just stupid.
But wait,
I
want more.
But that's the thing. You want more of Miles Braun, but at the
I don't want more of Miles Braun. I want more of the movie.
Oh, okay. But he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy.
But I think in the premise of the name itself, Glass Onion, Benoit Blanc himself says everything is in plain sight, even though you get dense later. So I feel executing that idea, he did really
Yeah,
that was good.
What I really liked was when he burned the napkin.
Yeah.
I have to say, because it was just such a stupid stupidly obvious move. Like, you're gonna flaunt the napkin, you're gonna say, you're gonna, like, like, flaunt the napkin. And you always wonder, like, why does the villain just take the opportunity? And in this movie, the villain takes a stupid opportunity to do a stupid obvious thing.
It was, like, the one time, like, the villain actually does this thing, like, you're thinking that they should.
Right,
they never do. And, like, I didn't think he was gonna burn it, because I was like, oh, like, they just wouldn't do that.
Right.
So I did like that they did that, yeah.
Right.
But, okay, there were a lot of aspects in the beginning that I didn't like, though. Like, I didn't like the COVID aspect of it. Like, I get...
It was filmed a year ago.
I get that he wrote it during, like, 2020, but I feel like we're out of it now. We don't need more COVID.
I don't know.
But I do think they're masks.
That's what I was gonna say.
The Lana Del Rey mask.
Because I think...
The fishnet thing, and when she took it off, she's like, oh my god, thank god I can breathe now.
Yeah.
Birdie. Elbows.
But what I would say about the COVID aspect is that I think, like, it honestly wasn't as overplayed as some of the other shows have been. Like, some shows, like Grey's Anatomy, like, their whole season was about COVID. And, like, I thought, like, they did a good job of really, like, doing balance. But I thought what you said about the mask was so true. Because, like, I saw, like, a video on TikTok again of, like, how good, like the costumes and, like, makeup and everything were for each character, because it perfectly represented their personalities. And, like, the Governor Claire, like, having her, like, with the ill-fitting mask, it shows, like, how, like, she's just doing things for, like, the show of it. I thought that was really cool.
But then there's this moment, where she becomes, like, conscious of it and pulls it up again. Like, she's being watched 24/7, like a true politician would do.
I don't know, right, and going back to it, it's just the characters are so fun and poignant. Like, I don't know, like, each of them have their own little irritating aspect, but they're one-dimensional, but they're like Clue characters, you know, they're fun. Like, I don't know, I really like the murder mystery party.
Also, Madeline Klein too. If you like, well, what's her character's name? I think it's Whiskey.
Whiskey.
So at the beginning, you know, you see her being next to Duke, but then at the end, you have this conversation with her, and you realize that she's much more than just like each side.
It's so great.
It was great character writing, in my opinion.
I thought of all the characters, she had the most, like,
depth,
like the most development, because like, you know, obviously everything with, like, Andy and stuff like that was, like, a lot of character development, like, there, but, like, that, like, she started off and it's like, oh, she's with this guy who, like, essentially hates women, like, he has, like, his, like,
anti-feminist at Alan. Okay, sorry.
He, like, hates women or whatever, and, like, she's, like, she names herself Whiskey, and people might be like, oh, like, she, like, dresses, like, super, like, provocative. But, like, I thought it was, like, really well done, because she was, like, she had so much depth, and, like, she was, like, doing, like, a lot of stuff to, like progress her own career, and it just kind of shows, like,
But I mean, that also, like, it goes to show, like, the lengths to which she will go, because, like, she was, like cheating on Duke to do that, and, like, he was, like, conscious of it. Yeah, like, he knew about it, so it's, like, not, like, cheating, but it's the fact that, like, you would do that for your career, which, again, it just also speaks to your character. It's development. I don't know if it's, like, good or bad, though.
I think the actors were really good. Like, I think they were very well played. Like, I don't know, just...
I agree.
It was a good choice.
Well casted.
Very well casted.
But Knives Out was well casted too.
It's easy to attract stars when, like, the script is good.
Sometimes you have, like, a group of, like, mega stars that you have, and, like, there's no way they can, like, share the spotlight, but they did that exceptionally in this movie.
And it's so much more fun because we've never seen all of these actors all together in one movie, and it's just like, they work so well together.
Right, there's a dynamic between each other. It's also just so fun to watch. Like, I don't know, I just really like, I think I like Birdie a lot, because she's just so stupid.
Birdie's
like,
so funny.
I don't know, like, do you remember that, like, one, like, the joke?
The sweatshops?
Yes!
Oh my
god. Sweatshops! That's
like, did you think they made sweatpants in sweatshops?
Like, I don't know.
I think at some point she, like, compared herself to, like, Harriet Tubman. I'm like, why? Out of all people.
Like, yeah, that was, like, the first line of the movie.
Like, it's so terrible.
It's like social media misinterpreted that. Like, she had good intention.
The perfect lack of self-awareness, especially because she was supposed to be, like, the media, like, influencer type, the type who's, like, just, like, famous and airy. And I think, like, you know, like, they did a really good job making her that. Like, I was like, what an idiot. Like, no, but I also think it was funny, like, because in my opinion, like, there was, like, the whole issue with she was worried that if people found out that she had her stuff being produced at, like, a sweatshop, like, they wouldn't buy or she would be canceled. But I thought it was, like, kind of, like, not true. I was like, I thought it almost showed, like, in reality people wouldn't even care, but I thought, like, they played it up that they would care because of Miles Braun and stuff.
Right. But how do you guys think of this compared to the first Knives Out movie? I know you guys haven't had it, but you guys can still weigh in your opinion.
I don't know. I feel like the first Knives Out movie was really good. I think I liked the first half of Glass Onion better, but I felt like the twist for the first Knives Out movie was just, like, it was just so good.
Right.
What was the
Well, like the fact that it was like.
You'll see when you will find it, but there was certainly a twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree with you, but I do think Glass Onion is better simply because of the characters. I feel like the characters weren't as memorable in
100%. I don't know their names.
Chris
Right.
Evans.
There's Chris Evans.
There's a bunch of
other ones
stars,
that we
but I
did.
don't know
Other
anyone's
that aren't
name
Chris
anymore.
Evans.
Yeah.
I think it's also like the time period.
Yeah.
I don't know how old the first one is, but it's like I'm sure people that like watched it when it came out, they like know them, and like we know these people like Matt and Klein, like those like films just came out.
And like talking about time, I feel like, well, this is like a personal thing, but I like the old movie better because when I think of like murder mysteries, I think of like, you know, that generational
The
wealth and then, you know, having like
classic.
the plots, the mansions.
Yeah.
Right.
So then I imagine, I hope that the Knives Out movie would be like, I don't know, Scotland, like the middle of like Windsor Castle or something like that. So it's about that generational
You
wealth
like
thing.
that, like,
But then we got
air of,
Elon
like,
Musk.
elegance.
Like, do you
Yeah.
think that's like more like commentary about like how like the world is now?
Right.
Like, to have like
It
the
definitely
big
is,
like
yeah.
wealthy billionaire who gets like this disgustingly extravagant island
Right.
for 4 people and doesn't have any of like the staff
Yeah.
there. Like I feel like that's like
He
commentary
had the
about
little
like,
thing
today.
carrying the bags. It was like the little robot thing.
Robot.
I also feel like Benoit Blanc, he can fit into any time frame because
He's really
his-
funny.
I have to say,
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So you can go first.
Go.
Okay. I have to say, I was really disappointed by his acting in the beginning, but then I realized, oh, he's acting that he doesn't know
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
Right.
Because I was like, why is he talking like a robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I understand after watching the movie, and I thought that was really good acting.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And back to like the recyclability of Benoit Blanc. Like, would you guys watch like a third movie with him?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
watch, like,
I
yeah.
think it's
I would.
definitely
That's the
gonna
general
come.
consensus.
This
Would you
Kentucky Fried
not?
Chicken.
I would
accent.
totally. No, 100%. I'm very happy with this.
On that note, let's go into ratings. So, as you guys might know, if you've watched our show, we give our own rating and then we have to persuade each other to make one rating.
Final rating.
Yeah, final.
Okay, honestly, I think this is it. I've been waiting for a movie to give it above a 95. I think this is the movie. Like, I love this. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Like, it left me feeling like, I felt like happy afterwards.
Like, satisfied.
I was like satisfied. I was
Story
happy
moment.
after this. Like, I'm giving this movie a 98.
Wow.
Hmm.
We all just went silent after
Oh, okay,
Does
good.
anyone want to argue with Angeline?
I don't want to argue because I agree, but like, now I'm waiting for the movie. Like, I think I don't remember what I gave. I gave like the highest I've given so far is a 93. I think this is much better than anything we've reviewed,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's still room for improvement, so I'm gonna say a 95.
Okay, solid.
As someone who doesn't have the pressures of having rated other movies,
Okay.
I have a completely like different scale because like you have other things like it's a comparative. Like
Right.
Yeah.
personally, like if I was like grading it, I'd probably give it a 92
Okay.
because I
That's
liked
fair.
it, but again I was just a little bit let down.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
slightly. Clearly, I give it a 92. I thought it was
think-
great.
I just think that this is, and I already expressed this at the start, but I just think it's such a mark to like, I don't know, like cinema movie makers worldwide. Sorry guys, but I
The
think
end
it's
of
like
the death
it
of
is
cinema.
end of the death. It's like this is something new.
Yeah.
Like we're getting positive reactions from media. People are talking about it. This is something new and it's working. You know, it's for like I don't know movie makers everywhere to see. Like you don't have to put out the same thing over and over again. People are
Yeah.
gonna like something new. People are gonna like something revolutionary.
I do
Marvel
have to
understands
say,
that.
well,
Okay.
see, but that's what I was gonna say. Like Marvel, you criticize Marvel because it's like the same structure every movie. This was the same structure as Knives Out,
I
but I liked that structure. It was a different twist.
I mean, it's still a murder mystery.
I still think it's like a new structure
Yeah.
than like
Okay.
the superhero
Fine.
classic. Ba-da-ba.
fine.
I think so too. I think like with these movies, you have to have that second perspective. You know, running through the story first,
Right.
and then having that second perspective. Because then it's gonna fall flat because you're just gonna have one storyline. But once you have those two storylines like in parallel to each other and then them merging, you get that like big that's what happened moment and like a bunch
It's
of moments.
nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
You know?
You like
Right.
it's really nice. But I think I personally like the first Knives Out movie a lot. Not a lot better. I think it's better. It set the standard really high.
Right.
I'm not saying this movie's bad. I think it's phenomenal too. But I think it has to fall short of Knives Out for me at least. So I'll give it like a 90, a 96. I'll give it a 96.
Oh, 96.
wow.
He's like, guys, I think I didn't. He's so expecting. I thought we were going in the 80s. But
What is Knives Out 1 for you?
Knives
Like
Out
100, like
Like a 97, like 90.
Oh,
oh,
97.
okay, so like
Yeah.
barely.
Yeah, so it's like close.
Okay, I like agree with everything you've said, but I want to fall in like the middle and say like 95. Like, I'm just like, it was like good. I don't have any like thing new to add really.
I mean, I did not watch the first Knives Out movie, but I did watch this one, and this was actually one of the first murder mystery movies that I've ever like watched, and I really love the TV series Whodunit that like came out in like 2011, and I still watch it to this day. So I really liked the structure of the entire movie, like you guys said, like even though it was very formulaic, like it worked really well, and I also love like the general like the setting of everything. Like I think it was recorded in a very futuristic and like when he was like, oh, this is like a super casual place, this is like a beach, we live in like a very secluded, and then the robot dog, Mona Lisa. And it was just like so crazy how everything just like was so like kind of like sarcastic, but it worked really well. Right. So
sarcastic's a good word.
Irony.
Satire on like
satire. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah. So I really appreciated that. On like a percentage rating, I think I'd give it like a solid. Like I'm not a movie person, but I think I'd give it like a solid 94, 95.
Wow. As well. I think our average is like 95.
I think our average is 95. Yeah.
Lauren brought it down.
I'm sorry, guys. I
because you're good though. You're good.
That's what we need here. So this is really high for us.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps up today's episode. Stay tuned for more Tomatastic content from Operation Tomatometer on Apple Podcasts, and check out The Classic and The Classic Critic on Instagram and TikTok page at Townsend Harris Classic to see our bloopers, behind the scenes, and other cool projects we are working on.
Thank you. Bye.